Hello everyone and welcome back to Tony's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. Firstly, can I just apologise for my blocked up nose and throat. I've got an absolute stinker of a cold. It's been absolutely freezing here in the UK. We've had snow for the last week, which has only just disappeared, so I have got an absolute stinker, so I apologise for that. Now in today's video I'm going to be going back to the Paul McCartney 7-inch singles crate, and I'm going to be ranking my top 30 favourite singles from the crate based on the A side and the B side, so the single as a whole. And I'm also going to be talking very briefly just about one or two things that haven't been quite right with this set that I think need addressing. So that's what's coming up. Before we start, I just want to say a big welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. There's been quite a lot of you that have subscribed over the last couple of weeks, so thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope you continue to enjoy the content on the channel. Okay, so let's get on with ranking these singles. Now, it wasn't really a surprise to me that whittling down 80 singles into a favourite 30 was going to be quite a difficult task because there's just so many brilliant songs in this set, but I tinkered with it and fiddled with it and moved songs up, moved songs down and threw songs out and brought songs in until I arrived at a top 30 that I'm reasonably happy with. But because there are so many good songs, there's quite a few big hitters that have not made this top 30. The three singles that got to number one in the UK, Mull of Kintyre, Ebony and Ivory and Pipes of Peace, are not in this top 30. Some other big hitters that you would expect to be in this chart, like Coming Up, maybe With a Little Luck, have not made it. Now, looking at my analysis, my top 30 is made up of 16 Wings songs and 14 solo songs, and the most recent song to make this chart comes from 2005. And that's not to say that the stuff after 2005 is no good, because it is, but I just don't think as singles they're as good. But the albums that came after 2005, very, very good. So anyway, let's get on with the rankings. So at number 30, I've chosen this single from Press to Play, Pretty Little Head. Now, probably quite a surprising choice for a lot of people. I mean, I am quite a big fan of the Press to Play album. I think it's really underrated, but this version of the single is not the version that is on the album. This comes from the 12-inch single, and it's an edited version of the longer 12-inch single, but the 12-inch single has got a much more commercial feel to it, and so it's more appealing as a single. As I say, the album version is probably the least commercial song on the album, but I've just always really loved this single. What Paul has done with this, it's a bit left field, it's a bit unusual, and that's kind of what I like about it. It's a bit experimental. So number 30 for me is Pretty Little Head. At number 29 from Flaming Pie, it's Young Boy. Now, Young Boy was a single in the UK. I'm not sure if it was a single in the US. I don't think it was. It got to number 19 in the charts. It was the lead off single from Flaming Pie. Great song. Number 28, two tracks from Back to the Egg. This is the Japanese single, and it's got Arrow Through Me with Old Siam Sir on the back, which means that the UK single of Old Siam Sir with Spin It On is not in this chart, because Old Siam Sir is on here. These two songs, I think, beat Old Siam Sir and Spin It On. So that's not my number 28, two of the best songs on Back to the Egg. Number 27 comes from the Tug of War album. It's the second single from that album, Take It Away with I'll Give You a Ring on the back. That got to number 15 in the UK and number 10 in the US. Number 26, also from Flaming Pie, is The World Tonight. Another really great song. This one got to number 23 in the UK, but only number 64 in the US. I really love this song. I love that line, I go back so far, I'm in front of me. Okay, number 25, Helen Wills from 1973 with Country Dreamer on the back. Obviously, the US Band on the Run had this on the album. The UK, this was a standalone single, and it got to number 12 in the UK and number 10 in the US. Number 24, also from Press to Play, is Only Love Remains, and also the same sort of thing as Pretty Little Head. This is the remix of the 12-inch that was on the 12-inch single, which again is much more poppy or commercial feeling than the version that was on the album. It is exactly the same length on the 7-inch single as it was on the 12-inch single, 4 minutes 11. This got to number 34 in the UK. I don't think it got a US release. I think you got Stranglehold instead as the US single, the third single from the album. So that's my number 24. Number 23 is from Flowers in the Dirt, and it's this one, backed with The First Stone. Great single. Really love this one. This one got to number 18 in the UK and number 84 in the US. Number 22, Paul's first solo single, Another Day, back with Oh Woman, Oh Why. This got to number 2 in the UK and number 5 in the US. Great A-side, great B-side. And bringing up the rear of the 20s at number 21, it's Goodnight Tonight with Daytime, Nighttime, Suffering on the B-side. Fantastic single, the first single from the final lineup of Wings with Lawrence Juba and Steve Holley in the band. Got to number 5 in the UK and number 5 in the US. So into the top 20, and my number 20 comes from 2005. It's Jenny Wren from Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. It's back with Summer of 59, and this is the most recent song to make my top 30. I just absolutely love this song. Fantastic melody to this song, and the guitar playing on this kind of makes it a son of Blackbird, or should that be a daughter of Blackbird, seeing as it's Jenny Wren, a daughter of Blackbird, but we won't split hairs. Fantastic single. Number 19 is a standalone single from 1987, Once Upon a Long Ago. This one only got a UK release. It was released to promote the All the Best compilation, and a fantastically underrated and undersold single for me. This should have got a worldwide release because it is probably one of the best singles that Paul made during the 80s. Fantastic guitar solo in it, and a lovely electric violin solo from Nigel Kennedy, which kind of masks the nonsense lyrics, but a great song nonetheless. It got to number 10 in the UK, and I am actually going to be doing a separate video about this single as my next video. I've got something interesting to say about this single, so please stay tuned for that. Okay, so this is my number 19. The reason why I keep looking down at my notes is because that's where I've got all the chart positions written. I can't possibly be expected to remember them off by heart, not at my age. Okay, so number 18 is from Wings at the Speed of Sound. It's Let 'Em In, backed with Beware My Love. A fantastic pairing, two really top tracks from Speed of Sound on this single, and it is the full version of Beware My Love on this single. It got to number 2 in the UK, number 3 in the US. Brilliant single. That's my number 18. Number 17, also another brilliant pairing. Jet backed with Let Me Roll It, both from Band on the Run, 1973. This one got to number 7 in the UK, and no chart position listed in the book for the US for this. I'm quite surprised at that. I would have thought this would have been a nailed-on single in America, but apparently not. That is my number 17. Number 16 also comes from 1973, Live and Let Die. This is the Swedish Sleeve, back with I Lie Around, obviously the theme tune for the Live and Let Die Bond movie with the George Martin Orchestra. Fantastic song again, one that he's pretty much played on every tour that he's done since he released this in 1973. Got to number 9 in the UK and number 2 in the US, and it's my number 16. Number 15 comes from the Tug of War album, and it's the title track of the album. It's backed with Get It, which is one of the weakest songs on the Tug of War album, but the A-side Tug of War is just absolutely fantastic. One of the best songs on that album. Absolutely love Tug of War. Didn't do very well. Got to the same position in the UK as it did in the US, number 53. Okay, number 14 from 1972, it's Hi 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 and Sea Moon, another brilliant Wings single, a standalone single. No, wasn't on an album. This was the follow-up to Mary Had a Little Lamb. Both tracks excellent. If you're putting a gun to my head, Hi 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 is my favourite of the two, and it got to number 5 in the UK and number 10 in the US. And this sleeve comes from Belgium, and it's the same on both sides, but you have to flip it round because it's upside down. Okay. So my number 13, unlucky for some, is the US promo single in mono of Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey on the A side, with Too Many People on the B side. Two fantastic songs from Ram. I think that Uncle Albert was a single in the US, although it's not listed in the book as being so. But maybe that was because it had a different B-side, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure that was a number 1 single in the US, wasn't it? Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. I may be wrong. I'm sure you'll correct me in the comments if I am. Okay, my number 12 is from Flowers in the Dirt. It's the lead-off single from that album, My Brave Face, co-written with Elvis Costello, as was the B-side, Back on My Feet. And this, for me, is everything that a good pop single should be. It's catchy, thrashy guitars, very Beatlesque, lovely harmonies. This is a song that I've never ever got bored of. This is my number 12. And number 11 comes from the Venus and Mars album. It is Venus and Mars Rock Show with Magneto and Titanium Man on the B-side. Venus and Mars Rock Show, what a fantastic song that is. I just love the serenity of Venus and Mars and how it just ramps it up as it goes into Rock Show. And this really was the most perfect opener for the big world tour of 75 and 76. A fantastic single. Didn't get anywhere in the UK chart. Got to number 12 in the UK. That's my number 11, Venus and Mars Rock Show. Okay, so into the top 10, and my number 10 is from the Give My Regards to Broad Street album. It's No More Lonely Nights, an absolutely fantastic single. Possibly the best song that Paul wrote during the 80s. It's probably, if it is, that's probably the only chart that any song from Give My Regards to Broad Street is going to top, unless there is a chart for half-baked, pointless cover versions. But No More Lonely Nights, fantastic single. Number 2 in the UK, number 6 in the US. That's my number 10. Number 9 is from Speed of Sound. It's Silly Love Songs, backed with Cook of the House. Again, Silly Love Songs is a 10 out of 10 track for me. Again, you know, just everything that a good pop single should be. Catchy. It's got that fantastic bass line. It's got the horns, and the harmonies are exquisite. That is my number 9, Silly Love Songs. Number 8, Silly Love Songs, number 2 in the UK and number 1 in the US. My number 8 is Junior's Farm, backed with Sally G, a fantastic rocker from 1974. This is the Wings. What would this be? This would be Wings Mark 4. Would it be, with Jimmy McCulloch and Jeff Breton on drums? This one got to number 16 in the UK, number 3 in the US. Paul's been playing it on his recent Got Back tour with a verse missing. But this is the full version. Fantastic single. That is my number 8. Number 7, an unlikely single, I think, from Venus and Mars. This is Letting Go, with You Gave Me the Answer on the back. I love Letting Go. I've never really thought of this as being a single. I don't think this was ever going to be a really big hit. It's too rock, but I just love it. Really soulful rock song. Really love this song. This one got to 41 in the UK, 39 in the US. That is my number 7. Now, my number 6 is from the London Town album, and it is the title track, London Town. Again, I think this is a fantastic song, very underrated. Again, both of these tracks are 10 out of 10 for me. Love I'm Carrying as well, but London Town is just so atmospheric. Really brilliant, underrated song, and that is my number 6. Number 5 is from Venus and Mars. It's Listen to What the Man Said, back with Loving Song. Again, 2 songs that are 10 out of 10 for me. Just a fantastic single. This one got to number 6 in the UK, and this was a number 1 in America, and it's my number 5. Number 4 is from Red Rose Speedway, the fantastic My Love. Just a brilliant song with that sublime guitar solo from Henry McCulloch in it. Fantastic song. This single is from Israel. It's backed with The Mess, which was recorded live at The Hague in the Netherlands. Another fantastic single, and this is my number 4. And now we're getting into the top 3. Okay, so number 3 in my ranking comes from the Ram album. It is Backseat of My Car, backed with Heart of the Country, an absolutely fantastic single. Backseat of My Car is my favourite track from the Ram album, and Heart of the Country is a very good B-side as well. Now, Backseat of My Car, for me, is the musical epitome of light and shade. You've got that beautiful, mellow, serene sort of ballad part of the song, the piano part of the song, and then it kind of explodes into this great big orchestral production number. Fantastic vocals from Paul, superb harmonies on this throughout, and the bit that where Paul goes crazy at the end is just an absolute joy. So my number 3 is Backseat of My Car, Heart of the Country. It was a UK only single, and it only got to number 39, which is a bad showing from the British record buying public. Now into the top 2. Now my number 2 and my number 1 could have gone either way. I swapped them and I swapped them and I swapped them again, but in the end I decided that my number 2 single was going to be this one from Japan. It's the live version of Maybe I'm Amazed, with the live version of Soily on the back, both tracks from Wings Over America. It's a lovely single, this, with the labels that represent the sides of the Wings Over America album that these two tracks come from, which side 2 and side 6. So it's a well thought out single. The sleeve has got the lyrics in English and Japanese on the back, and on the front we've got the gatefold painting by Humphrey Ocean that is on the gatefold of the Wings Over America version. Now, for me, this version of Maybe I'm Amazed is the definitive version. It is the best version I've ever heard of the song. It's better than the version on McCartney 1, and it's better than any of the live versions that we've had since. It's aided and abetted by Jimmy McCulloch's sublime guitar solos, Joe English's fantastic drums, and Paul's vocals that are absolutely spot on, especially when he gets up into that high register. You kind of feel every note. So that is my number 2. This got to number 28 in the UK and number 10 in the US. So you've probably guessed what my number 1 single is going to be, and it is going to be Band on the Run, backed with 1985. Now, this is a German single of Band on the Run. In the UK, we had Band on the Run with Zoo Gang on the back, which was a bit of a pointless instrumental, and this is so much of an upgrade that it's not even funny. But, you know, I had, you know, an argument with myself trying to deliberate between this single and the Maybe I'm Amazed single. And, you know, if I'm thinking to myself, is Maybe I'm Amazed a better single, a better song than Band on the Run? And yes, it probably is. But this one pipped it to number 1 just purely on the fact of 1985 being on the B-side, which to me is a better song than Soily. So that is it. Those are my top 30 favourite singles from the crate. Now, obviously, I don't expect any of you guys to agree with my top 30 rankings verbatim. Everyone is going to have their own opinion. And if you want to tell me what your favourite Paul McCartney or Wings singles have been over the years, then please do so down in the comments. Give me a top 3, a top 5, a top 10, whatever you want to tell me. I will read it and I will respond to it. Obviously, you don't need to have this crate to be able to play that particular game. You all know what the songs are, so go ahead and tell me what your favourites are. Now, I just want to talk about the box a little bit, because I am absolutely loving this box set. It's possibly my favourite box set I've ever owned. I feel really quite privileged to have been able to manage to get one in the clamour for these. So I am absolutely delighted with it. The sound quality on these singles are absolutely fantastic, and I have rediscovered the joy of playing the 7-inch single again, and it's something that I haven't done for a long time, really. And it gives you that kind of there's a nostalgia aspect to this. Apart from obviously, there's lots of singles in this box that I've never owned, especially ones from, you know, outside of the UK. But, you know, once CD came in, I stopped buying 7-inch singles and bought CD singles instead. So lots of these I've never owned on 7-inch. So it's got that aspect to it, as well as the nostalgia of playing 7-inch singles. So it's been an absolute joy for me. Now, when I did my unboxing video, absolutely fantastic comments from you guys. Really loved reading all your comments about that. It made it even more joyous to have it. But I do want to talk about a couple of things. There has been reports of some quality control issues with this box set. I've read that people have had records that were warped in the set. They've had sleeves that were damaged, and they've had labels that have overlapped onto the playing area, which is quite a serious thing because you can't play the single. Quite a few things. I've been really fortunate with this. I haven't got any of those issues at all. But I will tell you about a couple of quibbles that I've got, and it's nothing. It's not anything important at all, as far as I'm concerned. But for some people, if you're paying this sort of money for a box set, you do kind of expect it to be perfect, and quality control shouldn't really be an issue. So I do hope that MPL will resolve some of these issues for people, but I've got a feeling because of the limited number of these sets, it's going to be difficult for them to do so without doing a reprint of some of these singles. But some of the things that I thought were a little bit odd was this is a track listing basically, and rather than it being in the box, it was rather than it being in the crate, it was actually in the cardboard packing case that this came in, so it was like underneath the box. So when I lifted my box out, I was so eager to get into it, I didn't bother looking if there was anything else in the box. It wasn't until one of the viewers of my unboxing video said, "Did you get the oblong sheet with all the tracks on it?" And then I went and looked at my box, and there it was. But I have seen on the Hoffman forums that people have been saying that they haven't got, they didn't get. They've seen unboxing videos and they didn't get that slip. Well, if you're one of those people, then have a look in your original packing, your cardboard packing box, because it may be in there if you've still got it. Now, I had a couple of weird things on my labels. I had a single now. It wasn't this one, but I'll show you it just to demonstrate. But I had like a little bit of vinyl stuck onto the hole there on one of my singles, which meant when you put it on the turntable, it didn't sit flat because it had like a little blibble of vinyl on there. That's a good word, blibble, isn't it? But I found that basically if you twiddled it about a bit and pushed it through and pulled it through the other side, it eventually just came loose and fell off, and that was the end of that problem. It was easily resolved. Couple of things on the printing of labels, nothing major, but a bit weird. This is the Belgian hi with blank, pretty much blank Apple. Normally on here you would get the catalogue number and all that sort of stuff printed on there. That's missing. The B-side looks even sparser, which is very weird indeed. I did, I only two reasons for this. Either the Belgian single was originally released like that, or it was a printing error. I looked on Google to find a picture of the Belgian single and it looked normal, so that is a printing error. And on my Live and Let Die single, Live and Let Die is absolutely fine, but on the I Lie Around, can you see how I Lie Around and Wings are totally out of alignment rather than being centred? So these are just minor quibbles that I'm not in the slightest bit bothered about at all, but I just kind of wanted to join in the quibble conversation. So if you've had something go wrong in your box set, please tell me about it. And one other thing that I thought I should mention, if you do have this box set, are these bits of foam. Now, these bits of foam are in the crate, one for each of the two sections. There's two sections of 40 singles, and these are really for transportation purposes to keep everything flat, but you don't need them in the box. They make it very difficult to finger through the singles, because when these are in there, the records are very tightly packed in there. And I read on the Hoffman forums that someone, not with this particular box set, but another singles box set that had foam inserts in it, the foam under heat had chemically reacted with the sleeve that it was pushed up against, so it had kind of ruined the sleeve. So if you've got your foam here, get rid of it. You don't need it. And that has made quite a lot of room in my box set, and I decided that, because although it's an 80 singles box set, there is actually 81 singles in it with the test pressing, and I've been through all my singles and I've found 4 singles that are not in the box set, because obviously one of the things that people sort of complain about, well, it's not complete. It's not complete. Well, it was never supposed to be complete. It's not a complete set of singles. How can you have a complete set of singles from all over the world? There must have been singles released in countries that haven't even got a single in this box that are not here. So it wasn't. It was 80 singles because of Paul's 80 years, and he's just chosen 80 singles to be in this box set. It's not the definitive complete set. There's notable exceptions like Off the Ground, Biker Like an Icon, stuff like that. There's plenty of singles that aren't in it. Anyway, I've went through the singles that I had, and I've got a lot of the singles that are in the box, but I found 4 singles that I've got on 7-inch that are not in the crate. And now that I've taken my foam out, I'm gonna I've now got room in my crate to put them in. So I'm gonna add to it the picture disc of Home Tonight. The black vinyl version is in there, but the picture disc can go in there. My limited edition This One single can go in there. My Band on the Run with Zoo Gang on the back, that can go in there. And my Susie and the Red Stripes single, Seaside Woman, on yellow vinyl, that can go in there as well. So that's where I'm going to be keeping those. Anyway, that is pretty much it from me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It leaves me one final thing to say to you, to all my subscribers or any viewers of this video. I wish you and your families very happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope it's happy. I will be back for one more video before the new year, and I will see you then. Bye bye.